Hello everyone and welcome to Tailored Acres. I'm Taylor and I'm a gardener in Wisconsin, Zone 4B. And today's video is going to be a little bit of a mix of a tour and also the things that I'm working on this month and some plans for the future. And Hank wants to say hi. I'm going to start out in the lily garden because it has come into its full glory here in mid-July. So everything is looking gorgeous. Here I am battling the red lily beetle. I can show you some damage that it has done, like this. I've just been sucking them up with a little vacuum, disposing of them, and then I'll break the leaves off that have their little poop covered babies on them and just throw them in the trash. So it's just a work in progress, but I don't know the names of most of these, unfortunately. I am working on a separate lily tour video that I'm going to try to figure them out. But I have lots of like Asiatic lilies. I think some of them are probably a mix. A lot of them I've been using for cut flowers. They've been absolutely gorgeous. And they last so long. I think this is a Stella d'Oro, something like that. That one hasn't bloomed yet. There's two of them that haven't bloomed yet. But it's just glorious in here. I love stepping outside my office and seeing all these. Just such a blast of color. And then back here, we still need to install the trellis there. And I got another big hosta. This is a Shadowlands. Let's see if I have the tag. This guy's new. No tag. I'll have to look it up. But he's a new one, the Shadowlands from Proven Winners. It's supposed to get really big. So it's supposed to be more of a blue with, I think they said like apple edge. So we'll see what he looks like. Kind of looks like a standard hosta, plain old guy right now, but we'll see. And then that's the climbing hydrangea, which is looking really healthy. And lots of weeds back here. And this guy, I was really worried about early season. Some of these leaves were like real weird looking, but now it's looking a lot better. And that was an Empress Wu hosta, so that one should just get bigger and bigger. And I'll just show you guys my favorite lily in here quick. This one, oh, she is just glorious. I love that one so much. And I have the daisies interplanted in here. And the idea of it, I liked a lot more than the reality of it. So those may be coming out in the future. And this big hydrangea here, it's some kind of panicle hydrangea, but it was here when I moved in. It gets glorious blooms, their lace cap. In this area, I haven't gotten to weeding yet. But there are some dahlias and other things tucked in here as well. If I get in the shade here, I can show you guys. This area is looking really nice too, besides the weeds. Alright, my two fruit trees out here are doing good. This is a dwarf plum here, which I thought was dead, but it finally put on leaves. Oh my gosh, these are the first ones I've seen now. I have to get my traps out. I've been using the traps for the Japanese beetle. They worked great. I like barely see any now. So now that I saw those though, it's time to get them out. There must be something tasty over here. This is the peach that I don't know, it didn't go through winter super well this year, so putting on lots of good growth now though. And I think we'll head into the vegetable garden next. So most things are looking pretty good in here. So in this first area here, I have some sage, some chamomile, we have celery, leeks, carrots, onions, and shallots in the back. They're all looking pretty happy. The onions are starting to bulb up here too, if you can see that. And then back here, I have some pumpkins planted. The peas are done. I'm actually going to pull those out maybe this afternoon and plant again to try to get a fall crop. So keep you updated on how that works out. Gotten quite a few tomatoes from this. I think it's a Sun Sugar, a little tomato. They're so good. And there's cucumbers in the back. I got quite a few this one already. I was going to get those pickled too. The brassicas are looking really good. I should cover this area so the worms don't get there. And then I've got 3 tomatoes here, which this one is just gigantic. That's the mortgage lifter. I've never grown that one before. And they are putting on tomatoes here. So those are looking, all the tomatoes are looking really good so far. We have a lavender up here. These are for cut flowers. I don't know. They're not doing a lot yet. We'll see. See if they do more. And then I just have some herbs sprinkled in between the tomatoes. And then over here I have a potato plant directly in the ground because I didn't have another pot for them. And the potato beetles have just been crazy this year. You can see them on there. Then we have some Genovese basil, which is some of that's probably ready to cut and use. And then I couldn't remember what this, okay, here's the tag. Caraway, that's what it is. Caraway is next there. Some of these look kind of weird. I've never grown that before. Then we have some more sage. Bronze fennel, which is for cut flowers. And then this is Mrs. Burns lemon basil for cut flowers. Cinnamon basil for cut flowers. And opal basil, maybe for cut flowers. I don't know, I've never grown that before. But the foliage is beautiful. And then I have soybeans. I always forget what they're called. I don't know why. They're such a like yellowy, chloridic, or that's not what I want. Lacking iron look to them. So I don't know how those are really doing. We have another tomato back here. And I've got a bunch of different varieties of tomatoes. So maybe I'll do a video just on those in the future once they start producing to see which ones my favorites were this year. The sweet peas are finally putting on some flowers. We have a battle going on in here with squash bugs currently. I came out yesterday and burnt a bunch of their eggs with a little handheld torch. I'll link that in the comments. It was awesome for getting rid of those super quick. So I would highly recommend doing that. Just torch them. We have some watermelon on this side. A couple plants of those. Let me back up here. Step across. And then I did harvest my garlic. There we go. In here. Maybe I can link a picture of that. It was a glorious harvest this year. They were all super big. Very happy with that. And then I have bush beans planted in here that haven't quite started coming up yet. But again, that was just last week, so those should be coming up soon. The couple plants you see in here are self-sowed ground cherries, which my son loves, so I was just gonna let those go for now. And then we have, this is Vortex bush bean, or not bush beans, pole beans. The leaves on these are massive. We have lots of blooms too, if you can see those. So probably a couple weeks still for beans. They're my mother-in-law's favorite, so she'll be excited that they're close. Whoops, another tomato plant here. And then I have some zinnias. They're precious metals from Floret that I seed saved from last year. So I'm hoping they come back true to seed, but I mean, we'll just wait and see. They have been so slow to get going this year. And then most of these are they're all bell peppers. I think I mostly did red this year. Maybe a yellow. I can't quite remember. I don't think I do have some tags. Oh, there was a green one. New Ace. And then King Arthur red back there. And I think that big one is a yellow one. And then in these planters that I just used to keep my fabric in place, I have, I think it's strawberry blonde marigolds. And they haven't really done a whole lot yet, but they're pretty. try to keep away some pests, which I don't know how much that really does. Then we have some zucchini that's really struggling. Something wrong with that. I'm not sure what. I don't think it's the squash vine borers yet, but I should probably start treating for that. I've just been doing an injection of BT for those the last few years, and that's been working really well. So I should probably get out and do that just in case. Then we have some more ground cherries up here. Then along this side we have another kale. I think this was some gonfarina that I planted in here with some weeds too. And then this hedge is potatoes planted in pots or fabric bags. So some of them are starting to yellow, which I'm thinking are the just purple or reds, sorry, little red tomatoes that I just get organic tomatoes from the grocery store, and they were sprouting, so that's what I planted this year. And then some yellow ones too. So those will be ready pretty soon. And then last year I replanted a crop once I harvested them, and they almost made it their full life cycle, but they still made like little red tomato or potatoes. There we go. So I would highly recommend doing that, because you might as well just plant some more. So that was good, and we'll be doing it again this year. This was some red amaranth, which kind of looks like the leaves have something going on. Not sure what is up with that. I have some green drops grass here. There's some frosted explosion grass, which this one's probably ready to pick. These are great for bouquets. They're so pretty. My mom's favorite. I got some more zinnias planted here. Another rogue kale. You can just see how big these, how big these beans are getting. And then this is a mahogany splendor hibiscus. There we go. It will get huge. This is a perennialized Rudbeckia. Oh, I think it's Cherokee Sunset. The dragonfly almost landed in my head. And then we go into the jungle. Oh, it's just, I don't know how to tame this area. It's totally out of control. There's 4 dwarf apple trees in here. Woof. We got the asparagus forest on the edge here. And then this is the overgrown strawberry patch that just got overtaken with weeds so quickly. I'm going to do something different with this. I don't know what yet. Alright, and then this is the last part of the vegetable garden here, is cut flowers, of course. So we have some straw flowers back there that are putting on heads. They're beautiful. This color is just so gorgeous. Then we have some Sweet William, which I've been cutting off of. Status. Feverfew. These are flowering kale. And they're actually probably bigger than I want them already. I planted them way too early, but they're beautiful. So hopefully they'll be good for fall decorations. And then we have some cress in here, a blueberry bush. And then the first round of sunflowers, which will probably be ready in a couple weeks. You can kind of see they're starting to form up. And then the next round is starting to sprout up in there too. I forgot to mention that my winter rye here that I use for cover crop, I let some of this go to seed to try to save it. And I think it's almost ready. So I'll have plenty of seed to re-sow that again this next year. I really liked using it. And I'll show you in the cut flower garden kind of the differences between the areas where I did different things. So one of my projects right now is to pull out all of these creeping bellflowers. They're so beautiful, but they are not good for your yard. So if you find any of those, rip them out. Next here we have the blueberry patch that was here when we moved in, and I've been nurturing back to health. I did plant more blueberries in the orchard last year because this area is kind of weird to have them in. But if I zoom in here, you can see that some of them are almost ready here. They're looking really good and really big. I should probably net them for the birds soon here. Alright, and as we move into the front of the house here, semi going by, This is the pink garden. I got another, this is like summer something, allium. I have one of these on the other side, and they're glorious. Summer Beauty. It's a more pink color, so I'm gonna plant that one in here. Not tip that over. Gotta remember to plant that too. These sedum are just glorious, so I want to divide those this fall and spread them out some more, have more of those plants. These are mums. This area is looking a little bit dry. And this is a tiny wine 9 bark. It is so beautiful. I'm so happy I found that one. It's about as tall as it's gonna get. It's a very nice anchor for this space. And this Baptisia has been awesome for cutting and foliage this year. I have absolutely loved it. I would also like to get one for the other side here. And this is that other allium that I was talking about that I've had in here. Oh, and then this is a ruby, Invincible ruby. Its color is beautiful. Looks like this area needs some water. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. And that's Miss America. She is beautiful. All right. So now we're on to the median garden area. And I just did another video on this, trying to unify this space a little bit better and have more of less things, which is a work in progress. Sorry, I'm like choking on nothing, dry air, I guess, even though it's super humid. So there's a blue spruce that I planted back, blue Colorado spruce that back there. It's putting on some good growth. The ivory halo dogwood are just glorious this year. The Humalo stockies is looking really good, Bettany. And then this is Stockies Lamb's Ear, which is also glorious. And then I have some more alliums in here. These are Serendipity alliums. So this area is going to get some more work this fall. I'm going to move some more things around and divide a bunch of it just to have more of the same things. I'm also looking at a hydrangea in there. I don't know if it's going to be that one. That one's the strawberry vanilla. But if I swing around this way, I'm like, oh, it would be beautiful to have 2 hydrangeas in for this area, whatever we're going to end up doing with that. So I might see if I can get another one of those so I can put those over there. Then I'll show you 2 other ones that I got that would work there too. They're half off. You had to get them, right? And then I've been battling my soapwort in here, so I don't want it to set seed and spread it. So that's my goal right now on maintaining it. So I got half of it pulled. I filled the garbage can up, so I had to stop. This area might be a little bit hard to see with the sun right now, but it's looking nice. And this little hydrangea here is putting on some flowers, so hopefully the rabbits and deer don't find it. They are finding the limelight hydrangeas in the back, unfortunately, yet again. All right, and then these are the other hydrangeas I got. So I got another Serendipity allium, which I'm gonna get planted somewhere because I want lots of those for next year. And then this one was a flowerful guy here. Let me see. Smooth hydrangea. So I only have that one Invincible ruby hydrangea that's a smooth. So this one is going to be a fun addition. And then this other one is a berry white. So that one will also be really fun. And that's a panicle hydrangea. Half off, Home Depot. Can't beat that. So I did another video recently with my hanging baskets, and they're already bouncing back from that hard prune. So there's one right there, and one on the corner there. And then over here, these guys are looking great. I had to severely prune these. They had some kind of bug infestation. I don't know, they were almost like spider mites or something. Never seen such a thing. But I just love the cool, calm look of these colors together. And my son's little cat planter is looking really good with the flower that he picked out. So now we're in the front of the house. This big panicle hydrangea was here when we moved in, just like it's got to be the same variety as the one in the back. So those are just starting to form up their flowers. It is such a glorious one. And these are Beatrice. I can never say that right. It's not like the name, I don't think. Blazing Star, Gay Feather, whatever you want to call it. They are so fun. And as you can see, the butterflies, they just absolutely love it, as well as other pollinators. I might change this up next year. I'm not sure yet. They're very fun, but they're very big. And then the petunias in front here I did a hard prune on, and then the rabbits continue to prune them, so there's a few of them that have some flowers on them. Disappointing. And then in the back there, I do have my seed dahlias that are starting to put on some growth. They have been pretty slow this year. And then there's two Hakanakloas back here that I'm actually going to move in the back of the house with those other hydrangeas, the big ones. I think they'll really offset those colors nicely. So there's not much going on in this bed currently. I'm also going to be getting rid of this dragon's blood sedum. It is putting on its flower right now, which is very pretty. And the pollinators also love that. This look is just too messy for me up here. I really want a more formal area for the front of the house, which is why this is going to get hopefully relocated next year to the ever-growing field over there with weeds. I did do a cut of flowers yesterday in here, so there's not a whole lot left. There is, the Rudbeckia is doing great. I'm absolutely loving it this year. There's just a gigantic spider. I don't know if you can see that. It's got this like egg sac there too. I almost grabbed him yesterday. Oh, yeah. He's a good guy, but didn't really appreciate the scare. So I did move a bunch of zinnias over here. Sorry, I was just like looking at how wilted some of these are. I don't think they appreciated their roots being disturbed that much. This is Hot Biscuit Amaranth, which looks like it has some kind of bug or something going on. Yeah, add it to the list, right? And then these are some of the yellow Crispidia balls. Oh, that one is putting one on. Haven't had much luck with those. I think I'm going to turn the water on back here too to get these watered as well. And then there's some angel wings in here. Angel wing, that might not be quite right. I've never grown them before and I can't remember what they are. But then the rest of this is celosia. And it's growing pretty good now. It got kind of a late start, so usually I have quite a bit to cut already, but you can see it's branching and putting on a lot of growth. The Lysianthus is getting really close to blooming too. This is the Scabiosa, like the star. So you use it for the seed pods and they look so cool and they're almost ready too. I really like that. I'm excited to use it in some bouquets this year. And then we have snapdragons, which I have a lot of. I've cut a lot of them, but they also have a ton of bugs this year. They have these double stab stink bugs that are just horrible. And I think they're like laying little eggs and those are gnawing things down. So, and then there's some like worms in here too, or like little caterpillars. It's been frustrating. I might take a break from snapdragons next year because of all this. It's been exhausting. I was telling my husband that I just need to simplify and only grow things that don't cause me a lot of extra work. So we'll see on that. And then this is the zinnias for this year, or the rest of the zinnias. they're starting to, that one like has a bloom now. But yeah, just slow. Partly my fault for not getting them in sooner. There's some more dahlias up here. Those are new ones for me this year, so I usually try to quarantine the new ones just in case they got anything going on with them. So that's all the cut flowers for this year. And then the last area is the secret garden. So this beautiful hibiscus, my stepmom has now given to me. I inherited it. We watched it for her this winter and now it's mine, but it is such a beautiful color. I don't know if you can really see it. It's so bright over here. It's got like a little bit of a pink throat and that bright orange. So that's gonna live in front of our garage here, or our shed. So this is the secret garden and nothing's happened back here all year. I don't know if anything's alive. I haven't been back here. We've got a couple things planted in the vinca vine around here. There's a couple different paths. You guys know the drill. Have this arch here. And then we have this clearing because we lost a ton of trees to oak wilt last year. So we're just trying to keep it mowed down a bit until we decide what we're gonna do back here. But my son did plant, let me see if I can even find it. Just walked through a spider web. Oh yeah. He planted a couple maples back here from seeds, so I'm hoping we can protect those and they can grow up big and strong. And then I did also plant a Canadian hemlock around the corner here. So this is where I would plant those 2 hydrangeas. I think that's a good idea. Maybe 2 more over here and then 2 more at the other start. Can never have too many, right? So this is the Canadian hemlock. Just a little guy for now, but they're such a cool form and shape, and they do like shade, which it doesn't get a whole lot of right now, but it will at some point here. So that is the whole garden tour for today. I wanted to thank you guys for joining me, and I hope that your gardens are not seeing as many pests as mine, hopefully, and that you're getting out there to enjoy the beautiful views that you're creating. Take care.